Good morning, everybody. This is Mike McEwen. So, I'm trying to find something to eat right now. It's my day off of work. I actually have some time to cook. I'm gonna go ahead and try and find something in my house. I mean, we got groceries for the week. We kind of ate most of the groceries, so now I'm kind of like scavenging around the house trying to like put something together and like cook a meal and maybe do some meal prep for the rest of the week because there's literally a crap ton of food in this house. We just have to know where to look. Try and keep up. Okay, so first of all, I found some rice, some beans, another bag of brown rice, and this little bit left of white rice. You can obviously tell that I'm not very good at eating the brown rice. I just eat the white rice because it's freaking delicious. And this can of mushrooms. So I also have found in the house in my scavenges this frozen thin cut flank steak or thin cut steak. It's what they use to make fajitas. But I'm not gonna make fajitas with it. I'm gonna make something else. Be back in a minute. Oh, also beef broth. Delicious, so delicious. Also, since it's my day off, I'm gonna have some adult beverages from my favorite patriot, Samuel Adams. Alright, be back in a minute. Okay, so just to prove to you guys that I really do have the attention span of a goldfish, I found some dessert, which is going to be this pumpkin bread kit that I've actually had since last October. Everything's in there canned and dried, so I'm pretty sure it's probably still good. So we're just going to go with that. I'm going to go ahead and prep that real quick. And I'm going to show you. And since I'm not like some master bread maker, I'm just going to go ahead and follow the instructions on the box. But first, a message from our friends at Sam Adams. Ah, refreshing. Yeah. Okay, so I got this can of pumpkin here that I've already took the liberty of opening with a can opener. You can find one of these at your local grocery store. And I'm going to put it into this... I'll put it into this thing, which is actually the top of my crock pot, because I figured out that since we moved, my roommate actually owned the only mixing bowl that we had. So I'm actually using a crock pot as a mixing bowl. Semper Gumby. Always flexible. I know, look at, you can actually see the shaking action in the camera as I'm trying to shake this pumpkin out of the can. And any spillage, I actually have a cleanup crew on the side right here. They're primed and ready to take care of it for me if anything spills. Alright, let me get this mixed up and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have myself the fanciest of all utensils, a whisk. So now that in this cauldron of crock pottery, one second, I'm going to flip the camera the other way. Oh, I can't do that while I'm doing this, can I? Okay, well, now that in this cauldron of crock pottery, I totally have a can of pumpkin, the bread mix, a half a cup of oil, and a cup of water. Box directions, nothing exciting. Now I'm just going to whip it together. Beat it! Beat it! Don't know how to beat it, beat it! Show me the money, you wanna know that I don't know the words to this song, just beat it. Da-dun, dun, da-dun, dun, da-dun, dun, da-dun, dun. Beat it, beat it, don't know how to beat it, beat it. Show you that money, you know this song. I do not know the words to this song, just beat it. Dun 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 dun. Come on, mix it. Mix it. Mix it. Dude, this is actually like pretty easy. I mean, this smells, it looks nasty, but it smells delicious. Look at this. Ugh, yeah. Yeah. Stir it in there. Oh, get it. Yeah, rotate that crock pot thing. What a crock, man. Let me turn this light on. It probably, maybe you'll be able to see it better if I turn the light on. Where's the light? Oh yeah, that one doesn't work. Ugh. Never mind. Never mind about the surface light. Okay, so I'm just going to continue whisking this for a little while until it's completely whisked together. Because whisking is awesome. Everything is awesome. Oh my god, why is there like a song for everything? Pretty good, isn't it? Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and distribute this into the pan. Uno mas. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my handy dandy pan. Check that out. Check it out. Look at it. Oh my god, it's a pan! Okay, and then I'm going to grab the most versatile lady in the kitchen. Listen, I think she's actually in my garbage bag of spices. Garbage bag of spices! Spices are better when they come out of a bag. Here she is. Oh, this lady really knows how to put up with the heat. Her name is Pam. Pam! Yeah. Get it. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and put the bread into the pan. Yes, good sounding bread. Okay. By the way, guys, bread doesn't actually make that sound. And since I'm stupid and I didn't preheat the oven, we're going to go ahead and preheat the oven right now to 350 degrees. Alright, and now we're going to wait. Okay, since I was a retard and realized that I had to use the oven to make the dinner I was going to prepare, but I'm currently using it to make bread, I went ahead and went on a run, hashtag Facebook pace, and now I'm back to pull out the completed bread. Hamburger helper. Bruh. Okay, so on with the oven mitt. Shake, shake, shake. Got it. Rah. Okay, so let's get this bread. Let's see how it came out. Remember, box instructions. Okay, here we go. You got bread. Bread. Look at that bread. Looks pretty good. One second, let me flip the camera around. Yeah, look at that bread, man. That is pretty tasty looking. Let's get out a knife real quick and see how this is done all the way through. Looks like it might still need a few more minutes. It's really good though. Okay, so while we're waiting for the yonder, what's it called, bread to finish, we're gonna go ahead and do our prep work for our awesome, delicious rice thing. So let's go ahead and get started with vegetables. Foxy celery. For those who like foxes in their vegetables. It's also kind of raining outside. Kind of glad I got my run in earlier. So, let's see here. The tips of these look kind of bad, but I'm going to go ahead and leave the ones I'm not going to use. I think I'm only going to use about like 3 things of celery. So, 1, 2, 3. Alright, and then I'm going to put the rest back into the celery bag. Shazam. Alright, so we got our 3 things of celery, and now I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the bad parts of the celery. There we go, got rid of that one. Got rid of that one. That one. That one. Oh, by the way, bam. Okay, so now continuing on to dice the celery. See, when I dice things, like my particular technique is usually to not cut my hand off. So I usually just come over here and I just go slice, 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 slice. As you can see, I'm just cutting the celery in a manner in which, oh, see, cleanup crew right there. Right there at the feet. Human garbage, not canine garbage disposal. Let's get rid of that spot. Get rid of those. And dice, dice, dice. Look at that. We have some freshly chopped celery. We have some nice freshly chopped celery. Now I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the excess pieces. Bam. Alright. Now we have some onion. Now my trick to cutting onion to where you don't cry like a woman is you actually refrigerate the onion before you cut it. So that way it doesn't release its noxious fumes. And another thing, I don't even bother peeling the onion before I cut it. Why waste your effort? Because as soon as you start cutting it, it's gonna come off anyway. So just go ahead and slice, slice. There we go, maybe a little bit more onion. Someone's car alarm was going off outside. See, look, 90% of the skin already came off. And if the one parts that didn't, I can just like easily take off now that the onion is apart. So, see, comes right off. Don't even have to worry about it. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and dice this onion in my usual fashion. You know, not cutting my fingers off. Man, I could really use with a better angle, man. I'm totally rigging this right together right now. Like I'm actually like have my phone like balanced in between the two cabinet doors. Anywho's, whilst I was chopping, the timer went off for the bread, so let's go ahead and take the bread out. Bread, 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 bread. Bread, 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 bread. Bread, 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 bread. Move the cutting board over. Bread, 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 bread. Bread, 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 bread. Alright, bam. Okay, got the bread out. Okay. Now I'm gonna need my handy dandy butter knife. Butter knife. It's a knife that does butter. Okay, so we got our butter knife, and now we're gonna check the bread. So let's go ahead and okay, our delicioso bread. Yeah, it's done. All right. So now I'm gonna set that in the microwave and let it cool for a little while. Alrighty. Hot mitt, because I'm not about to burn my hands. 1 second. I mean, I'm totally awesome, but I'm not quite that awesome as to where hot things do not burn me. Okay, into the microwave. Bam. Okay, and that'll be there for later. So we can. Alright, and now that we have gotten the bread out of the oven, we can continue dicing our onion. So let's get on with dicing. Dicing the onion before it heats up and makes me cry. Remember to not cut your fingers off. That is very important. You're going to need those later when you have to write or do really anything else. Okay, continuing to dice this onion. And I mean, I kind of like the thick sliced onion. I mean, I know some people like it sliced like so thinly you can barely see it. They even like put it into a food processor or do it that way. But myself, I actually like the flavor of onion, and I could probably actually eat an onion raw by itself. So it being in big chunks really doesn't faze me all that much. In fact, it's preferable to me. So I'm just gonna kind of go over this some more. I mean, there's no real technique to this other than just like make it not whole.
That's like really the goal here, is like make it not whole. The opposite of one whole onion. See, like there, now we have a pile of diced onion. So now we have our pile of diced onion. We are now going to get our broccoli floret. So we've got some delicious broccoli floret. Look at this, is actually like real broccoli floret. Like this isn't fake or anything. It's not made of wax. Like, so I think I'm gonna actually only use like half of this. So I'm actually gonna cut here. Bam. Okay. And then I'm gonna actually separate it from the stalk. And then just separate all the little pieces off. We're almost there. And I kind of don't want, I mean, this is like, normally like when you eat broccoli, this is about how it like looks. Like these little pieces right here. But this is still a little bit too big for me, because I mean, like, when I eat this pile of rice, I really don't want a whole bunch of big broccoli. I kind of want a little bit smaller broccoli. So I'm going to dice them into at least half of that size. And this is just like the nasty end. Nobody wants to eat that. Shorten up those stems, and because the broccoli stems are still delicious. Like, I mean, I'll eat the regular stem, but like that bottom stem that looks like, it's like, I'm gonna get it in your mouth and be brown and such. Nobody wants none of that. Okay. Okay, so we got a little bit more broccoli to chop up here. There, so now we've got some a little bit smaller broccoli. So I'm gonna go ahead and put up these veggies that I'm not going to use this time. Throw this bag away. Got the cleanup crew here nosing around, waiting for me to drop something. You've been a good girl, Ghost. You've been a good girl. Okay, so now I'm going to need a bowl of some sort. And actually, since I need to store a lot of stuff, I'm going to use this top of a cake carrier thing. These are often used to like be the top of a cake carrier, but since I don't have any large bowls at the moment, it's also going to double as a large bowl. So let's go ahead and put all of our stuff into the top of the cake carrier. And I mean, I'm not concerned about all this not getting mixed together. I mean, really, it's all gonna get mixed together in the end anyway. So it being together right now is no biggie. So let me go ahead and get to the next piece. The meat. Now, do you notice, like, this is actually important. This is the only real cooking thing I'm actually gonna say probably in this video. Notice how I cut the vegetables first. This is actually important. Like, because once you cut the vegetables and then put raw meat onto the cutting board, you just contaminated your cutting board. And, I mean, I like to actually wash my cutting board. It's a very, very, it's a very rare thing that happens. I mean, most people don't wash their cutting boards after they use them. But, I do like to let it sit out and dry, because actually, like, just after the soap and the drying, because there's a lot of organisms, especially like bloodborne ones that are going to be in this meat, that aren't going to survive being in the open air once the thing dries. So even if like you cut raw meat or chicken and then you wash your cutting board and then slap it right back down and then start cutting vegetables on top of it that you are going to eat mostly raw, like, you still might have some bacteria on there. So make sure that you cut any vegetables beforehand, and then you cut your meat. And where in the world did... And I'm also like, I'm a super girly girl, and I like to wear gloves as I'm cutting and operating with meat, especially with a sharp object, because you never know what's going to be on there. And of course, I just washed my hands, so like putting on gloves is entirely difficult. So I got some gloves. Gonna put them on. You dry my hand a little bit. This is a time-hardened trick of drying your hands, is actually waving them like that. Okay, so now we've got our meaty McMeterson over here. Okay, so this is very, very thin steak. Like this kind of steak is usually used to like make like fajitas and stuff like that, but it also makes really good stew meat because it's like, but the thing is that it just cooks through very quickly. So you'd want to, it's like, so you really just want to, you don't want to use it for like anything that's going to be like savory, like anything that you don't want to cook, that you want cooked through slowly. You're not going to use it for those sort of purposes. Ugh, come on, give me the steak. Give me the steak. Alrighty. Ugh, look at all this fat here. Kind of mad there's this much fat on here. But whatever, this meat was cheap. That's why. Okay. Ugh. Separate these steaks. They're kind of still a little bit frozen together, but that's okay. I mean, they're not so frozen that I can't separate them. So now that I got them all out, go ahead and get rid of this thing. Yeah. Yeah, I also find the wearing of the gloves just makes it easier with the having to, it's like being able to, it's like having to wash your hands a million times and get all that nastiness off of yourself. I'm also going to reach over here and grab my Montreal steak seasoning, because that's how I'm actually gonna season this meat. So I'm just gonna pour a whole bunch of this all over this meat. Whole bunch of it. Whole bunch of it. And then I'm going to execute this meat massage. Oh yeah. Can I get some sensual music in the background? Yeah. Oh, meat. Don't you wanna get massaged by me? Oh, meat. Don't you wanna get your massage by me? Okay. That looks really good. I really can't wait to actually eat this. This is actually, like, all this steak is pretty much gonna be my lunch for the next, like, week. So I'm gonna be tired of looking at it by the end of the week. Sensual meat massage. Phrasing. I love it. Well, whatever, I'm gonna actually need it when over there anyway. Okay, so now that I have massaged the meat, I'm now going to take this beautiful knife and I'm going to slice it. Slicing the meat into, see, like, I'm slicing it into little strips. Alright, you see like how there's this fat right here on the edge? I'm gonna just cut that off because I really don't want to eat just straight fat. I mean, like, it's sometimes it adds the flavor, but I mean, it's like, but I would much, God, come on, Grizzle, get off of there. Gristle is like always notoriously hard to cut off. Okay. So here we go. We've got our pile of nasty fatty McFatterson. So I think I'm actually, instead of like just going like right at this like point of grizzle, I'm gonna come a little bit over and actually like cut off some actual good meat, because I'm gonna lose some good meat to get some of this fatty McNasterson over here. Okay. That. See this here? Okay. See if we can salvage that piece right there, because there's like actually a lot of good meat right there on the other end of this. Okay, get that fat out of there. Okay. So now we're just gonna cut this into strips, because the rest of it it's marbled, but it's like it doesn't have a lot of fat. And that's how I like to see my meat. I like to see it marbled. I don't like to see like huge slabs of fat. I mean, huge slabs of fat. We're working on that. We're going to get rid of it eventually. Okay. Next. So I'm pretty much going to repeat this process on every single one of these steaks. So I'm just going to go ahead and stop this now, because I'm sure you don't want to watch me dice a bunch of meat. Okay, now that we've diced the meat all up, it's time to pretty much put everything all together. So I'm first going to go ahead and measure out my rice. So I got my Uncle Ben's rice. Yeah, staple food of the Asians for umpteen million years. Okay, so let's look at the directions on the bag. And I believe brown rice actually requires a little bit more water than regular rice because it's whole grain. But we'll just go ahead and follow the instructions on the bag, because usually the people that work at the company know how to make their product. So if we want to make 12 cups of rice, get down from there, Ghost. Get down from there, Ghost. Optional butter. That's cool. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put in. Okay. I believe 3 cups of rice if we have it in this bag. So 3 cups of rice. Okay, so we have 2 cups available in this measuring cup. Make sure you actually shake it and level it off a little bit. And the best way to actually measure is to actually do the shake and then actually set it on a level surface and then get level with it. See, actually, if I would have like just done that, I would have been a little bit shy of 2 cups of rice. So we're gonna go ahead and there we go. We have 2 cups of rice. And then we're gonna get some more rice in there. And doesn't look like we quite have the whole 3rd cup of rice. So we're gonna go ahead and use this other bag of brown rice that I have prepared for just such an occasion. Alrighty, let's go. Whew, lucky. No, I'm spilling rice, crap. Okay, so now I'm gonna fill the rest of it off with this other brown rice. Alright. Okay. Boom. I'm going to smooth that out there in the pan. Smoothing it all out there. In that pan there. Okay, so now, according to the direcciones on the thing, I need to put 5 cups of water in there. Double check the directions here. 5 cups of water. But instead of water today, we're going to be using nature's best substitute to water, beef broth. Beef broth! Woo! God, I love this stuff. Like, when you make rice with this stuff, like, it literally tastes like heaven. It's also chock full of sodium, so we won't be salting anything today. Alright, so let's just go ahead and measure it out with the exact same... Had a little bit too much to drink there. After this, I have to go refill my beer. Okay, so that's 2 cups. Go ahead and put that in there. And I fill it up to 2 more cups. Might run out of beef broth here in this one. Alright, so that's now 4 cups. And then, man, Ghost is going crazy for this stuff. I mean, it's probably what they use to make dog food smell so good. So, she's probably loving every minute of it. Loving every minute of it. Okay, so now we've got 5 cups. Okay, it also had optional butter, but since we're going to be putting meat in this, I'm going to go ahead and not use the optional butter. Since the beef fat that's going to come off of this anyway is going to kind of act as butter. Okay, so now, whoop, I almost closed the cabinet on you guys. Now I'm going to glove up and I'm going to insert the meat. Glove it up. Boom. Boom. Just gonna go ahead and put all this meat in here. Okay, the meat is in. Take off our gloves. Now we're gonna put our cake topper full of veggies in there. There we go. And then we're gonna give it a good stir. Just a little bit of a stir. One second, let me show you what we got here. Okay, so then we've got all this in here. It's kind of overflowing, but a lot of this is the rice is gonna cook up, the vegetables are gonna cook down. Okay, so let's go ahead and just kind of get all of this incorporated in there together. And you notice that I'm really not over seasoning this. I'm not like adding 50 million gallons of creme fraiche and freaking all this other craziness. I'm kind of a simple guy. I really don't like none of that nonsense. I mean, you don't have to be fancy to make good food. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cover this with aluminium, as the Brits like to call it. It's going to help it, because I'm going to bake this, it's going to help it retain its moisture while it's cooking. Especially that's important for the rice. Okay, now we've got our awesomely awesome thing. Oh, and don't forget to put a small vent hole. There we go, small vent hole in the top, because you don't want it to just blow off. You want some steam to get out, but you want a lot of it to be retained. So I already have my oven preheated 350 from the bread, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cook the rice on that. All right, watch out, Ghost. It's hot. Get out of here, Ghost. Ghost, move. All right. There we go. Okay, and I'll get back to you guys when it's done.